Does anybody recognize this right here? I tell you what, I want to hear this from the OG, not the OG chat, but the chat fam. Anybody know? And you get like just about 5 seconds to tell me because you're gonna look it up and cheat. But anybody know what that GIF is from? The animation's from? Anybody know out there? Christoph Star. Exactly, man. Martin, do you know?
I don't, and I've been trying to figure it out this whole time.
Man, it used to be this cartoon I loved as a kid, and it had all these old Saturday Night Live people from the 80s do voices like Billy Crystal and Gilda Radner. It's a cartoon called Animalympics. Do you not remember that?
Okay. No, I only remember Yogi Bear's Laugh Olympics.
No, ain't no silly shit like that.
Oh, right. No, it's the serious anthropomorphic animals.
Exactly. Thank you, sir. Yes, get it right. Yeah, that's Animalympics, man. I don't know if y'all know an actor named Billy Crystal. I'm sure some of y'all do. If you don't, your parents know him. But they had all these people from back in the day. Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live used to have these some of these people on there that used to be big back in the day. There was a woman named Gilda Radner and Billy Crystal was on there, and they did this cartoon because it was Canadian, I think, and it was called Animalympics, and it was just like the Olympics being done with anthropomorphic animals. And it used to come on HBO all the time. What's that?
I said, sounds riveting.
Fuck you. Let's see here. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's no Yogi Laugh Olympics, man. Goddamn you.
Come on, the Laugh Olympics was the Avengers of Hanna-Barbera.
Man, fuck yeah, I'm sorry they don't goddamn bear wearing a flat cap and a fucking tie and run around and shit.
You gotta admit that's cool.
It was a TV movie. That's right. It used to come on TV all the time too.
Announcing the first animal winner game.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, this used to come on TV all the time. I'm only playing this because my man brought back some memories. Because I think about this all the time, but it's so obscure that I never mention it. And for one of y'all in the chat to bring this up, I gotta admit, man, I'm pretty goddamn impressed.
Announcing the first animal winter games. It's the delightful cartoon spoof, the Animalympics. Michael Landon hosts the greatest show on earth.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck that is, like clowns and shit, but there's your Laugh Olympics right there. But he saw some crazy shit. What's that?
It's a good old Casey Kasem.
Casey Kasem, the boy. If just in case y'all wondering, like, damn, that sounds like Shaggy announcing that. That's Casey Kasem. Yeah, they used to have this. It used to be they had some famous voices in there, and it's very 80s, man. Very 80s. Like it was like it's back in the day when a lot of sequences, they didn't have a whole lot of story. So for some of the things that they did, they just made them they made music videos. Like they had one sequence, Dean Wilson, I remember there's an otter that was an Olympic swimmer, and he would lose himself swimming so much, or he would take some shit, like some drugs or something before he dove into the pool, and he would just get high as fuck, and he would just be in another world.
When this boy dives, he goes off into his own world.
There is a world of fascination.
They obviously didn't test for drugs in Animalympics because
I mean, I was going to say what he was doing with the fingers, that was transcendental meditation, but that went somewhere way else.
No, that fool was on that shit. No, ain't no meditation. He's meditating on.
I don't know what he's on, but pass it around. I want to try some of that.
Yeah, he's like, to hell with steroids and shit. You know, I'm taking mushrooms and fucking LSD before I jump in that water. Like you don't even see him swimming no more. You just see his hallucination. Like you see his point of view of all the crazy shit that he's seeing. Animators took a lot of drugs back in the day too, just in case you wanted to know.
Yeah, I think so. A drug-induced Fantasia. And Fantasia is a drug-induced Fantasia.
Yeah, man.
It kind of reminded me of heavy metal in a way.
You know what? It did. This is almost like a children's heavy metal because they had a lot of sequences in here that were just like, you know, musical. Y'all know what heavy metal is. I'm sure you've seen a South Park parody and whatnot. But this is back in the 80s where music videos were a big thing. And so when they like, if they didn't have to write a whole script out, it was just kind of like, fuck it, we'll just, do a musical sequence right here. And this thing is like, I think it's like 30, 40 minutes long. It's like, what the fuck can we do? It's animals in the Olympics. Ain't that much of a story there. So they just filled out a lot of it with musical numbers. Thank you. Somebody says like heavy metal with less tits and ass.
Yes.
Yeah, and more animals. But my man showed me
sounds not as enjoyable when you say it like that.
Well, let me take that back. Maybe less tits, but they still had that ass in there. There was so this is where all this came from. So one of the creepy, less groovy, I think that's his name. So he put up a GIF of a lion running, an anthropomorphic lion. It just means that the lion looks human and got a human ass on it. Oh, what an ass it is. Mm-hmm. And I was just kind of like, I know everybody just saw a lion. They didn't even bother to look up where it came from. They just like, oh shit, it's a lion with ass. That's cool. But that's where all this came from. That lion is from this Animalympics thing. And they had a whole running sequence where it's like it was two runners who were like going against each other. It was two African lions, and while they were running next to each other and talking shit, they ended up falling in love.
And when they are at the 2,000 kilometer mark, the friction between these two great personalities is heating up to the flash point. One of them must make a move.
Me and the cause.
I'm sorry, it's a lion in her prey that actually is. So it's like if you started fucking a hamburger. That's what this is like right here. That's she running with her food. See, here's another musical sequence right here.
From things that tie me down.
I forgot how. apparently, all these animals were on drugs. Like my man was just sitting up there trying to have a croissant, and then those drugs kicked in. He's high as fuck. Like these clothes too tight, so hot. He's in jail like the next day. He caught his ass running down the street naked. Yeah, man. This is Animalympics. Look it up. I used to love this. Now, I'll tell you the reason why I used to watch this, because I used to study a lot of animation when I was like a kid, like try to draw the characters. Secret of NIMH is the biggest one. I told some of y'all out there, my mother told me she would not allow me to watch The Secret of NIMH for about 3 or 4 days because she thought that I was kind of going off the deep end. She thought I was losing it.
I don't know what it was, but everybody I knew who was either a teenager in their early 20s saw that movie and fell in love with Mrs. Brisby.
You know what? Mrs. Brisby, she was all right. Her body needed a little more work, but
She's all natural, man. Don't fucking body shame her.
I'm not body shame. I'm just saying,
she had 3 kids in that movie. Come on, it's gonna touch some heritage.
I mean, she's a mouse, so
she's many girls and boys, they realized something about themselves, and they had a sexual attraction to her and many other furry creatures.
I didn't get that one because I'm not trying to body shame her. I'm not trying to, I'm really not. And you have a point. She had 3 kids. There she is. She was,
Hips.
That was back in the day before people started liking thick chicks too, our mice. So, but I used to draw. I used to try to study this movie and draw it because Don Bluth was my favorite animator, and I just used to study all these scenes, man. I would come home and I had a raggedy VHS tape because I would put it in there. It was almost worn out because I watched this so much. And the first thing I would do when coming home from school, this is like back in 6th grade and back when I was like 13, I would put in that tape. And I could tell like my mother was kind of looking at me because she'd be in the kitchen cooking dinner. She was just kind of looking at me like, what the fuck is going on with this kid? And then one day I pulled it out and she didn't know what tape it was, but she knew it was that one. I pulled out the tape. She's like, no, hell no. No, you ain't drawing the goddamn mice today. Get out the house, ride a bike, play with some friends, climb a tree, do something, put them goddamn mice away. And I said, yo, are you serious? You're like, yes, you're disturbing me. Into Animalympics. Animalympics was another one. I recorded it off of HBO, and I used to study how to draw in this style because the animation was kind of cool too. So, wow, this is bringing back some memories, man. I remember some of this here.